Hello internet, welcome back to my channel. My name's Nad and I'm here to give you some commentary content today. So first, thank you for the few of you who watched my last video. Yeah, that was really horribly made. I would love to remake that sometime again in the future when I'm a little bit more confident with this whole YouTube and filming thing, but we'll see when and if I get to that point. But yeah, thank you anyways. I still had a couple people watch that, and then I had like one comment. So yeah, I really appreciate it. I'm happy you're back. Yeah, I'm happy you're here. So hopefully this video will be a little bit better. I didn't really do much research per se, but I feel like I'm a little bit more passionate about wanting to talk about this, so it's probably gonna come across better. And I did take some nice dandy notes here that's gonna give me some kind of direction at one point or another. And organization, because organization is good, so yeah. Also, just side note real quick, I never do my eyeliner and I did it today, and yeah, I'm really proud of that. So I'm nowhere near a beauty person or a makeup artist, but I like it when I feel confident with how my makeup look has turned out. So today's video topic, I might end up changing the title of it. I hate name dropping YouTubers in the titles of things, but that's literally the only way you're ever gonna get views, or just name dropping like any controversial person. Getting views is just putting their name in the title, and I hate that. I feel like it's so ingenuine. I really hate how algorithm and SEO works, search engine optimization, blah blah blah. But unfortunately, for anyone to hear my 2 cents, that's my cat Gigi. Almost fell. This is my little troublemaker. Her name's Gigi. I've had her almost a year. She's very dramatic, as you can see. Okay, sorry about all of that. I totally lost my train of thought and my cat was acting crazy, as you were able to see. Anyways, so yes, I'm talking about the famous quartet that makes up of Tana Mojo, Jefree Star, Jake Paul, and Shane Dawson. These 4 YouTubers slash influencers seem to never ever stay out of the media for one thing or another of like many different issues that they've caused. And I kind of want to talk about why we shouldn't really actually care about them anymore, because, well, I'll get into that. Why we shouldn't care about these controversial influencers. The first reason, they don't care about you. They literally don't care about any of us. This is not on my notes here, but there comes a point in time when specific controversial YouTubers, or we'll just say controversial YouTubers and influencers in general, get to the point of being so rich that they don't even care about the fan base or the supporters who actually got them there in the first place. It gets to the point when they literally only see them as numbers. And you can tell in their content when it's very manufactured, or very over the top, or very censored. I truly think that's when they stop caring about the people who got them there in the first place. And because of that, you should stop caring too. Yeah. Oh, side note here. I'm not talking about us not holding these people accountable. We should definitely hold them accountable. We should call them out whenever they're doing some fuck shit. Honestly, we should call them out. And you know, cancel culture is really annoying to me. It's more annoying than anything. It's just annoying. But we should call people out and hold them accountable when they do some fuck shit. So that's not part of this video though. That's not part of why you shouldn't care about them. That's more part of like why you should hold them accountable and then stop caring about them. They get to a point where they're making a certain amount of money when they stop caring about you completely. And not every creator or influencer or YouTuber or whatever they are is like this. thankfully. I feel like there are a lot of genuine creators and influencers who still really appreciate how they got to the place they are. And it's funny because I feel like a lot of those people end up being kind of MIA or not posting as much, and not in the same way where the others are very manufactured or over the top or super quiet, but in a way where you might follow them on another platform like Twitter or something like that, where it's just text and they will say very genuine messages to you, and that's, you know, they care. Even if they can't express it in a way that reaches everyone, they try. But the thing with these other controversial quartets of influencers they don't do that. I will give them the benefit of the doubt. A lot of the times people will always overanalyze and scrutinize every single word that they say or type. But even if that's the case, all of them have proven that they literally do not care at all. Another reason, which kind of ties into the first one, another reason why they don't care about you is because they are disproportionately rich for living a strictly greedy and hedonistic lifestyle. If you don't know what hedonism is, that's basically the concept, ideal, lifestyle, theory. I don't know. It's basically living everything with pleasure. And like, when I say pleasure, I mean things like lust and greed and gluttony, just taking too much because it's for your pleasure. It's a very selfish way to live, and some might, you know, argue that we should all live that way. So we could all be happier. We should live for our happiness and our pleasure, but there comes a point where it becomes very selfish and it can cause harm to people, which is something that these controversial influencers do. They cause harm to people because they're so greedy and hedonistic towards their own lifestyle that they just don't care. They don't care if they cause harm to people. So why should we care about them anymore? Because obviously they don't care about us. Also, just to kind of dovetail off of that, when you get to that point of being ridiculously rich and all you can do is just post videos about yourself flexing and all these things that they have that you don't have, that you wish you had, but it's like, it's very difficult to get to the point of being at least a millionaire. A lot of these people seem like they could be billionaires or like headed that way or very close to it. And that's sad. That's really sad, because I'm like, you're not really contributing at all to our society besides bringing entertainment. Please hold. My cat's using the litter box. Are you done? Okay, she's done. Yeah, they don't contribute to the society. They just contribute to just living off of flexing and showing off all these things that they own that you don't. That's all they want to do, is just show off. And, you know, that gets to a point, for me anyways, it's annoying. Probably for their younger, impressionable fan base, that's something really cool for them to see. They probably haven't even understood the concept that there's ridiculously rich people out there. At the same time, understanding the concept that it's really, really rare for an individual person to get to that point in their life as well. And even rarer for them to get to that point in their life when they're as young as people like Tana and Jake Paul, so on and so forth. Another reason why they don't care about you, as literally everyone in this list that I've mentioned, is the more you say their name, the more money they're gonna get. That literally includes myself right now making this video. The fact that I'll be putting their names in the title of this video, it's gonna end up contributing them to getting more money. And it sucks, but you know, I'd rather weigh maybe a decent amount of people seeing this video and understanding like, we really should not care about these people anymore if we don't want them to have as much of a platform as they do now. It's cheesy. Okay. But the thing is, the more you talk about how horrible they are, they see it as a joke, and then at the end of the day, they're like, oh, they're just making me more money. Like I said, just like I'm doing now, and that sucks. But I'm trying to bring awareness to this because there needs to be some kind of regulation around influencers and social media creators and how much money they should actually be allowed to make, because it's not fair. It's not fair for a lot of people. Another reason they don't care about you is because our law doesn't care about them, or they care about them so much that it's like it's annoying to arrest them in the first place. What I mean by this is people like Tana, Jake Paul, both have been arrested, both have been released on bail, and just like, you know, let out of jail. I'll be honest, I don't know too much of the details of both of their situations, but what I do know is that they're both white people. They're both extremely wealthy, and they both have a strong following and fan base, and they're both able to afford getting themselves out of the justice system. As long as they don't perform something like a murder or something, I'm assuming. Even then, that could be questionable, not gonna lie. But yeah, literally they're almost exempt from the law, and we're not. The common folk, people who are brown, like me, you know, all different kinds of poor people, we are not exempt from the law. In fact, we're probably targeted a little bit more. Maybe not targeted, but definitely discriminated against when we are, you know, taken in from the law. And that sucks, because it's like we can't afford these things, and even if we did some kind of act that was much less serious as people like Tana or Jake Paul, we would not get bailed out. If anything, we would get a ridiculously heavy sentence that we don't deserve. Another point to make here: why we shouldn't care about these controversial influencers. They actually have no talents. They don't have any kind of talent. Like I said before, they have no contribution to make towards society. Like, none at all. Without the money that they have, they wouldn't have gained the so-called talent that they may have now, such as creating music or producing music or rapping or any film skills that they have or skits that they've made. They wouldn't have that talent without having the money in the first place at all. From what I understand it, and please correct me if I'm wrong, I should have done this research beforehand, but you know, as far as I know, besides Shane Dawson and besides Jefree Star, newer generation, Tana and Jake, both came from like decently, you know, wealthy families or middle class families. They already had an advantage in that way, where they didn't have to start all the way from the bottom like someone like Shane Dawson or Jefree Star has. Yeah, so they paid to get the talent that they have now. And I even argue that with Jake Paul's, you know, boxing skills. If he didn't have the money to hire a trainer, he wouldn't have the skills that he has now, which, I mean, is he even good? I don't watch any of that, but I'm assuming he's probably not even close to a professional. Same thing with Shane Dawson. He has a little bit more talent as far as the creativity side, like actual creativity, and not just basing his video content around either flexing, partying, being drugged up, or, you know, showing off some ass or whatever. He has a little bit more creativity talent when it comes to video making, and that shows more in his, you know, older videos, the first videos he posted on YouTube, because he was part of the OG YouTuber people. But I think it's fair to say that that talent, he doesn't actually utilize it now, or he stopped utilizing it since last year and before last year. Those little documentary series that he's made, I can argue that they're just about as, maybe a little bit less unprofessional as me, but just about as unprofessional as mine, where he doesn't do research. It's all completely opinion-based, and like, he's just hyping it up, or he's able to afford editors and all these different kinds of cameras and equipment that make it look like it's worth so much more than just an opinionated documentary series. And hey, like, I'm doing this is based off of my opinion and how I perceive things, but I'm not someone like Shane Dawson who has been committing pedophilic acts and really, really questionable racist things. Just a lot of questionable things. I'm sure you've heard about it. If you haven't, just search his name and I promise you'll find tons of information. So we have people like Jake Paul and Tana Mojo. Yes, these are like the main ones I can think of that I definitely want to stop caring about because they're in my age group and it's just very annoying to see them all the time and for the things that they do, and I'm just like, why? But the thing about them, they rely strictly on drama and controversy to succeed. They need that drama and controversy. They need those things to stay relevant. They truly do. Whether it's something that's actually kind of decent, like, you know, everyone's promoting positive outlooks on sex work, and I think that's awesome. People like Tana Mojo, she's on OnlyFans now, and, you know, she's promoting the sex work community, and she's giving a voice to that community, which is really cool. She wouldn't be able to do that, or she wouldn't be as successful with that if OnlyFans wasn't as controversial as it is now. And thankfully it's a little bit more accepted because of people like her, which is great, but it's a controversial platform and she's a controversial person, and when you put those two things together, of course there's going to be a little bit of success there when it comes to getting more of a fan base, more views, and more recognition to that field of work, aka sex work. We have things like the constant drama of Jefree Star and Shane Dawson, but the thing is, especially with Shane Dawson, people don't realize their silence is their power. Their silence and their disappearance from the platform, that's their power. Them disappearing and their fan base and supporters also being quiet, but like slowly realizing when they're starting to come back, that's their power. Because that silence and then that silent fan base that they have, they can easily manipulate them. They can manipulate them and they can help them bring them back. 110%. Helps bring themselves back. So, silence is power when it comes to that kind of drama and for people like Shane Dawson to rely on them. Same could be said for Jefree Star. I feel like he's never been completely silent. You always see him on Snapchat. But when he's away from something like YouTube for a while, that silence is his power. Especially whenever he has a new product launching. Jefree Star is on a whole new level of capital compared to these other people. He's not only his own product, but he has physical, tangible products that he has created himself. He hires a graphic designer because he has that money, and he hires the people who create the formula because he has that money. And as far as colors, there's only but so many colors in the world. I don't know. Another reason why they don't have talent is because they rely on their looks. Tana and Jake being in their 20-somethings and looking the way they are, they're kind of one of the standards. Not my ideal beauty standard. I'm not, I think they're beautiful in their own way, but they are pretty conventionally attractive people. Very conventionally attractive. And they rely on that. And it's going to be interesting when they're possibly at Shane Dawson's age or Jefree Star's age. Where Jefree, he at least has the makeup to kind of help him as far as looks and attractiveness. Thing is, he has the makeup to kind of emphasize really good features about themselves. But then there's someone like Shane Dawson. He's like in his 30s and he looks like a conventional 30-year-old man in America. When Jake and Tana get to that point, what are they gonna do? That's my thing. As soon as Shane Dawson started to get older and you can see like the physical changes of him getting older, I think it's fair to say that he started losing his views, and that's when his channel was dying for a couple years there. Especially after his whole engagement fell out with his first fiance and everything. I don't know. What are they gonna do when they can't rely on their looks anymore? Another reason why we should stop caring about controversial influencers is that they're immature. They're very, very, very immature. Not saying that I'm extremely mature. Everyone matures at their own age and in their own pace, and it all depends on your specific life experience. Someone could be completely mature at 16 years old and I could be completely immature at my big age. I can be completely immature at my big age, and then someone is conventionally immature at 16 years old. It really just depends on your life experience. That's my little spiel about that. But moving on here, the reason why they're immature is because we can never expect genuine apologies from either of this controversial quartet. None of them. None of them have made actual genuine apologies. I will argue Jefree Star, the first apology he made towards the Black community way back a couple years, that one seemed a little bit more genuine than anything he's ever put out there now. But currently, no. Shane Dawson, questionable, but mostly no, because he has not said anything else since everything happened last year. He has not addressed anything else. Now he's creeping back into the world of YouTube. Just, very, very cautiously, as he must, to be successful, obviously. And then, of course, there's Tana, there's Jake Paul. You can never expect any kind of genuine apology from them, and I wouldn't expect it from them at least for another 5 years, honestly. They're enjoying their life too much to, what is their apology gonna mean? That's what they're thinking in their head. It's not gonna mean anything later, Or, I guess I'll apologize just so this drama can blow over. I'm kind of tired of this one and tired of this one making me more money. It's kind of annoying, They probably get tired of the comments that people say about them when they are in drama. And so they make their, apologies that aren't genuine just to let it blow over so people will stop talking about it. Or so people will make videos about how bad their apologies were and then stop talking about it. Because I don't know why, every time someone makes an apology, people are just like, that apology was so bad. And I'm like, it probably wasn't genuine, but at least they made something. I don't know, no one's perfect, but besides that point, you're never gonna expect a genuine apology from these people ever again. Why would they grow if what they're doing exactly is making them enough money to sustain and do above and beyond all things they want to do? Why would they change? We haven't given them a reason to change, or given them a reason to change for them to listen to actually do that change. We try holding them accountable, but like I said, they literally do not care. They're not gonna care. This is why we shouldn't care. Them changing won't, unless they change for good, which why would they do that when the position that they're in and the fuck shit that they're doing now is paying them just enough, or paying them the amount that they want, or giving them the freedom to live the hedonistic lifestyle that they want. Okay. They don't have consequences. This kind of ties them back to how they're kind of exempt from the law, but they really don't have consequences. The most that they have to do is make their ingenuine apology on YouTube. They gladly manipulate their audience. They know their audience are probably between kids and teenagers. And they know if they give out these ingenuine apologies, that they're probably going to be naive enough to believe them. That's the thing about it. They don't have to give out genuine apologies because they don't need to. Because they have an impressionable young teenage and child audience, that's all they need. A very ingenuine, a very scripted, written by their lawyer apology that makes them use big fluffy words that actually don't mean anything significant to their fan base. Because their fan base is naive, they're young. Just hearing bigger words that they might be using makes them believe, oh, they really mean this is genuine. When it probably still isn't. The next reason why you should stop caring about these controversial YouTubers and influencers. Sex sells. Sex freaking sells, okay? OnlyFans, clearly, sex sells. Like I said, them being conventionally attractive, sex sells. Them planning their whole fake marriage, sex sells. Jefree Star having flings with basketball players and a fake affair with Kanye West, sex sells. Shane Dawson going from you know, I don't know, I don't remember how old he was when he had his first kiss or whatever, and then being accused of being a pedophile, and then now he's married and a gay man. Sex sells. And then, you know, just them being conventionally attractive, Tana and Jake. Sex sells. Sex appeal is real, sex appeal is powerful, and it's kind of gross, but it's true. And then the last and final reason why you shouldn't care about our favorite controversial YouTubers. Why should we? Can you blame them? No. And the reason you can't blame them is because it's so easy. It's ridiculously easy for them to live the way they do and act the way they do and then make this much money and live their life freely and live their life in a hedonistic lifestyle. Why would they? You know? Why wouldn't they want to keep doing that? That lifestyle is easy for them, and they have the support from people who live harder lifestyles. So there you go. We should just stop caring about them. If you don't want them to succeed anymore, stop caring about them. Don't watch them. You can unsubscribe if you want. That would probably make a huge difference if a bunch of people did it at once. But I doubt that's ever going to happen unless they have another controversy, but they'll just get it all back because none of this is regulated. But yeah. Oh my god, cat. Sorry, she just kind of attacked this cord. Thank you for watching my video again. I hope this one was a little bit better than the last one and piqued your interest a little bit more. If you want to keep watching me, please feel free to subscribe. Leave a comment. Please leave any feedback you might have. I'm still getting used to the whole commentary thing and finding my confidence with it, but I really like this. I like talking about things that annoy me and then makes me passionate about it. So I hope you keep coming back and watching more. Yeah, thank you so much for supporting me, and I'm just happy you're here. And I hope you have a great day. And Happy New Year, by the way. I don't know if I said that in the last video. Okay, bye!